welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're watching me for the first time, my name is Ann Moses. If you're my returning subscriber, I just keep hugging you and I love you. And today and right now, I have 10 things to avoid in your first date. 10 things you should avoid in your first outing, your first date. You are hanging out with your guy, or your guy in your first date, or a lady, or you're hanging out with your guy. A guy is hanging out with a lady, whatever, whichever, so long as it's a relationship or business or whatever, you're hanging out that is taking you out. So I'm going to give you 10 things you should avoid in your first date, because a lot of us, because we are desperate, when we see the man, we feel, oh, the husband I'm praying for, finally he's here. We want to pour out our heart. We don't want to waste time. Sometimes excitement, sometimes because we are desperate and we want to have this person and we feel this person that is coming is welcome. Our hearts are clean, our hearts are nice and ready to take whoever is coming. Sometimes when you're desperate, it makes you talk or say things you're not supposed to say, and it makes you present yourself so cheaply. So point number one, don't be late for a date. You're invited for a place, you're supposed to hang out with a friend, with friends. Don't be late. Be decent. Prepare yourself a day, or it's a thing you have been invited for a week. It's going to take like a week. You have been told, we're going to hang out here, we're going to meet here, we're going to have some talks here. So at least a day before that day is enough for you to prepare. You don't need to gadget up. You don't need to look too big. Don't look too clumsy. And don't make sure you don't go late, because when you make yourself look too clumsy, you want to make up, you want to do this, it makes you go late for an occasion. So learn not to go late. Number two, don't lie. Learn not to lie. Learn to live your life. Learn not to, please others and displease yourself, because the lie you tell today, the next time you're going to meet in that same place or wherever, you're going to look for another lie to make this lie real. The one you're telling today, there's going to be another lie tomorrow to make this one stand well, for you to stand on your feet. And that will keep you lying in that relationship. Avoid lying. Number three, never split the bill. A lady has invited you out, a guy has invited you out. For whatsoever reason, the bill should not be split. Even when you're asked to, okay, fine, how much do you have to contribute for this bill? The bill should not be splitted. If you're going to take care of the bill, there's nothing wrong for me. There's nothing wrong in it. And yes, if he's your friend and you guys have been known for a while, if he's going to take care of the bills, please do not split the bill. That is my point here. Don't agree to split the bill for whatsoever reason. The next one is don't step out too dirty. Don't even step out, not even too dirty. Don't step out dirty. I mentioned it earlier. I said clumsy means to me, it also means dirty. When you're looking dirty, you're not looking well packed, you're not looking well arranged, well presentable, clothes are so untidy up, you've not pressed your clothes, you're wearing things that are really heavy and looking dirty. When something is dirty, there's just no language about it to polish it or to make it look like it's dirty, it's not good looking. Please avoid dirty things, avoid dirty clothes. Brush your mouth, look well, freshen up, take care of your armpits and everywhere, especially your mouth, your face and everything. It's good you take care of yourself, because you're meeting with someone that is seeing you for the first time. And it's always said, first time matters a lot. Your first meeting with people matters a lot. So please make sure you don't sell out your opportunities in your first meeting with people for whatsoever. Point number five, don't eat what your system cannot take. Whatever your system cannot take, like personally, if I'm going out for something for an occasion, I don't eat beans because I have this constipation, or sometimes I'm just trouble when I eat beans or anything beans. It troubles me. So when I have an outing, I don't take beans, and I'm sure that it happens to a lot of people. So those things that does not go well with your system, avoid taking them for that, or before you go for that meeting, or before you go for that hangout or whatever, before you meet your friends. Avoid that thing that keeps you discomforting. Avoid eating it a day before, and even in that occasion or in that outing, avoid eating what you don't understand and you don't know, and those things that you feel it will keep your system moving and dancing and screaming. You understand what I mean? So avoid stuffs like that. Point number six, don't eat something smelly. Don't eat something like a ogiri. Don't eat something smelly, something that is not good. You yawn, you see it comes out. Garlic, ginger, especially garlic. It makes, it's not everybody that likes garlic. And anything smelly, avoid it. That's point number six. Point number seven, Don't talk too much. Avoid talking too much. I've mentioned it in some of my videos. It's very important. When you talk too much, see, you talk and forget the real thing. You talk and forget the questions you're supposed to ask. If an opportunity is given to you to ask questions, when you talk too much, you will forget the questions you're supposed to ask. You begin to narrate stories of this, of that. You forget. Don't talk too much. Be observant. Be calm in whatever you're doing. Listen more, and so that you can actually ask questions. If you're allowed to ask questions, or if you're allowed to contribute, you'll be able to contribute better. Point number 8, don't talk about an ex-boyfriend, an ex-girlfriend. So long as it's an ex, don't talk about ex. Avoid talking about ex, because most times when you want to talk about ex, it puts you on that anger mode. It makes you remember those things that happened, that relationship never continued, those things that wrecked the relationship. It puts you on that mode that you're not happy, you're no longer excited, and you begin to forget the reason why you're out for this meeting, and you begin to think about that, and it puts the person that is listening to you, oh, she might talk about this meeting the next time. So avoid talking about an ex in a meeting. Number 9, don't talk low on others. Don't talk low on others. You don't know people you meet today. It might be your helpers tomorrow. People you're passing by today might be people that will actually come back to show you the way, because you're passing people by. People pass like this, you go this way. They are actually coming from where you're going, so they understand the terrain better than you do. So if you talk low on people, you look down on people as you walk past them, when you get to the other end, you might be forced to turn back and ask questions on help, on how to go further, on how to get what you want to get. So don't talk low on people, don't look down on people, greet people, talk to people well, respect people's opinion. All right, respect people's opinion. Point number 10, don't talk about marriage or kids. Like I mentioned, I think point number 2, a lot of us, when we go out on a date, especially when it's ladies to guys, pressure, or from home, from whatever you are expected to get married, you have been praying for this marriage, you've had disappointment, and maybe a guy is coming, you've been seeing yourselves for a while, it looks promising, it looks like, okay, fine, he has already sounded it, and fine, maybe the outing today, or whenever you're doing this outing or you're hanging out, it looks like, okay, fine, it's actually to seal code the whole thing, the whole conversation. The date is here, he's going to propose, he's going to do this. Please don't, for whatsoever. Sis, don't talk about kids, don't talk about marriage, don't conclude it's going to end in marriage. Some of my video, I tell you, don't talk about marriage, because it is not every relationship that ends in marriage. Am I true? There are some relationships that you walk into, you just know that, okay, after a while, you know that, no, this is not marriage, it's not going to end in marriage. This is just like, okay, fine, you have learned something. For anything, for any relationship you have ever gone into, if you have not learned anything, I am telling you today that there is something you have learned that someone is going to learn from you. So don't just look at relationships that have walked past you, that have crumbled, that didn't work, that didn't go well. It didn't, okay, I'm not ready to do, okay, this one now, I'm ready to say it the way I want it. If it's not ready, let him just back out. No, don't talk about marriage, don't talk about children, don't talk about, okay, fine, oh, I think our children, because he's good looking, you're good looking, and you're like, oh, I imagine the kind of children we're going to have in this marriage. Do not talk about that. Don't even talk about in-laws. Don't ask those questions. They are not important, they are not the reason for that day. Allow him to talk more, because he has invited you out. And for me, like I said, ladies, learn not to talk too much, because when you talk too much, you forget yourself. You begin to say things that you're not supposed to say. And most times when you get back home, you begin to blame yourself, especially when the guys decide to back out. You see that some guys, when they listen to you the first day, you see they go cold on you because you have talked too much. You have overshoot your boundaries. You have asked questions you're not supposed to ask.